I'd love it if you stopped by sometime. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
How are you today? Kicking butt? I hope so. About a week ago or so, Elgato released a huge update for the Stream Deck. It added a storefront with icons, thousands and thousands of sounds and music, and according to the patch notes, more bug fixes than you can count. The most exciting part of this is the free royalty-free music that you can get in the storefront, but there are some issues on how you play those songs in a practical way for your stream. If you're new to the channel, I'm DocValentino. I do anything that has to do with video games, streaming, updates, things like this, tutorials. I'm constantly working on getting better. I'd love to build a community around this. Sometimes I'll do gameplay, sometimes I'll do videos like this going over an update. So think of it as like the whole world of gaming. I'll do a little bit of all of that. Okay, I'm gonna pull my PC screen up here. We'll take a look at the patch notes and we'll go through it a little bit. Boop. Over here at the PC, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, I have my Stream Deck. This is actually my iPad. So I use the app, which is a $2.99 a month. It works out. So if you buy the regular Stream Deck, that runs you about 150 bucks. So you get like 50 months worth of streaming using the app and paying that monthly subscription versus buying a Stream Deck. So if you're not sure about streaming, if you want to try it out, but you want that premium experience of having a Stream Deck, being able to switch your scenes and stuff like that, the app's a great way to go. This is not sponsored by Elgato in any way. But you could stream literally for like 2 years and it would be cheaper than buying Stream Deck. Or you could buy a Stream Deck Mini, which is 80 bucks. But still, you're looking at $3 a month. You do it for a year. It's, whatever. But regardless, you have that there. So when we start going through it, you can see when I press the buttons and how things change and things like that. So let's take a look at the release notes. So over here, it's version 5.0 for Mac OS and 5.01 for Windows. Okay, and the biggest update is a new storefront with 5 sections of the Stream Deck experience. Take it to the next level. Discover, plugins, icons, music, and sound effects. And then it goes through each one here. So Discover is basically just like a storefront where they show you like featured things and stuff like that. It's really just the way where they show like new and featured type of things. If there's an update, there's supposed to be tutorials and stuff on there on how to use it. So the Discover is kind of like a learning searching experience on there. Okay, so then heading down to the plugins. It says now it's easier than ever to browse the growing list of Stream Deck plugins. The plugins section gives you a glance at details for quick scanning through all of the different plugins and what they're for. Moving on to icons. The icons are basically icon packs that you could then use that image. You could also use your own images if you didn't know as the icons. So you can create your own icons for your Stream Deck, as I did here. You can see on mine over there. But we'll take a look at the icons library here in a little bit. And then music. This is the really big one for a lot of people. There's a bunch of different genres, types of music, stuff like that. A bunch of different songs. It's all royalty free on the music tab. It says it contains over a number that I'm not sure of. It's either 10,000 or 100,000. So I don't know if there's a 0 missing here or if there's a comma in the right place, but Elgato, if you happen to see this little channel's video, please clarify that. Royalty-free tracks covering every genre, instrument, and tempo you can think of. You can download it and you can add it to your soundboard, but it downloads it as like a Stream Deck file. So unless you have a way to change that file to like an MP3 or something, then you're kind of stuck just playing it on your Stream Deck. And I'm sure that has something to do with the way things are licensed and your use of those songs. And then sound effects is the same thing. They did get the number right here. It's 100,000 here. I'm willing to bet it's 10,000 on music, but I'll show you why I'm not 100% sure, but it probably is 10,000 for the music, 100,000 royalty-free sound effects. And then under general changes, it says the preferences window can now be resized and there are too many bug fixes to count. Okay, so after this quick little preview of what the updates are, let's go ahead and open up the desktop app and take a look at the storefront. Okay, so I have my storefront pulled up here. You can see that it's the same profile that I have on my iPad, and you can see that the button layouts are the same and things like that. I actually downloaded an icon pack the first time I did this video, but I recorded the entire video with my chipmunk sound effects voice on because I didn't do a sound test first.
And I'd love it if you stopped by sometime. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And I'm not monitoring my sound whenever I don't have a headset on. So I recorded 40 minutes of video to make this, and it was all in chipmunk voice. So I had to remake the entire video. So I did twice as much work for this one. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. All right, so to get to the storefront, you'll have this little icon up here at the top. It says Stream Deck Store. Go ahead and click into that, and I'll drag this over into this window. Okay, and it's laid out the same way that they listed it in the updates. You have your Discover tab, plugins, icons, music, and sound effects all on the left-hand side here. Again, for Discover, this is, here's what's new and the biggest update ever. So you can click here. Sometimes there's videos and stuff like that that you can watch, and you can search anything that's in the feature list. So let's go ahead to plugins. If you're not familiar with plugins, plugins are basically just an integration to certain platforms or software or whatever into the Stream Deck and its functions. So I have, for instance, Spotify in there, so I can start and stop my Spotify app. Moving down along, I have OBS.live, which I used to use, but now I don't. I just use OBS, whatever. Voice meter integration, stuff like that, if you use that. A whole bunch of stuff that you can do. So you basically just have to look through them and see what their functions are. But this is a nice little storefront and a nice little way to see the descriptions really quick and go ahead and install them. And then you can see all the different categories that they have here on the left-hand side. So if you wanted just lighting, you can click on lighting and you can see the different ways that you can control lighting from your Stream Deck. Over to icons. I had mentioned that I installed an icon pack. It was this Shield icon pack, but I'm going to go ahead and install another one since I'm doing this again. And I use Affinity to do my, photo editing and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and install Infinity Photo Icon Pack. Okay, and it pops up here. Are you sure you want to install the icon pack? Yes, I do want to install the icon pack. It's a really quick little installation, and we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Onto the music tab. You have all kinds of different genres here. You can sort by instrument type. You can search for mood even, and epic, happy, whatever it is, inspiring type of music. But I did find some flaws, even with the search here. All of these you can search up here on top. A lot of them you can, search for the most popular, recently added, trending, stuff like that. And you can see here, it does say 10,000 plus available. So I'm assuming that the number in the notes is 10,000. But the thing that makes me not think that is when you go to sound effects, it says 10,000 plus also, but it says 100,000 for the update. So who knows? Maybe there's 10,000, maybe there's 100,000, maybe somebody got zero happy. I don't know. Back to music. You can go through, you can listen to these songs, but you'll notice if you go to genre, for instance, and you click on rock, that 10,000 changes to 4,244. But then if you uncheck rock and you click on pop, for instance, you have 5,387. So those two numbers together are over 9,500 songs. If you check both of these boxes, you get a little bit under 7,000 songs. So there's a 2,500, 2,600 songs missing from that. So what that tells me is that there is some crossover between genres. Not every song is just rock or just pop. Some songs are going to be in both of those categories. So yeah, I think they should be separated so that one is one and it is what it is. But I do understand that there's some similarities in the different songs. I also noticed as I was going through here a little bit earlier, there were some just like sound effects for this too. So just be wary of whenever you're searching through here. Make sure you're listening to it. But then here, this is the real problem with it. In order to play a song, I'm going to go ahead and download this upbeat, funky good times just so we can take a look at that here in a minute. But there's no real like library playlist. You have to play and assign each individual song to a button, which is not necessarily good if you're trying to play music in the background for your stream. Okay, so let's take a look at sound effects. Basically the same thing. You have a bigger library, you have all your categories that you can search through. I noticed that there's a bunch of different things in here. So if you click on birds for a category and you want to hear birds in the background, you can always play it so you can listen to it here. or you can download it and you can have it in the basically same manner that you have the music, and you can assign that to a key on your Stream Deck. Okay, so let's back out and then we'll take a look at the actual Stream Deck and how you assign these. So I have a folder here called effects. It really should be just called like a subfolder or something, but that's all I had in it. This one here has all of my scenes, but rather than clicking through it on the computer, I'm gonna go ahead and just touch it and you'll see how quickly it works with the app as well. I added that Death Star icon whenever I went through this the first time, but you'll see here. So in order to play a song that you download, you need to go to the soundboard and hit play audio, and then you can search for a file. You notice it's just a file. So this is taking me to my file structure in the Stream Deck where I have my songs. So these were a couple that I had downloaded before whenever I was testing things out, but I downloaded this upbeat, funky good times. So we're gonna go ahead and click on that one, and you'll see that the file type is Stream Deck audio. So it's literally upbeat, funky good times dot Stream Deck audio. So that's like the file name. So I don't know if you can get this to play through some other kind of audio player or not, but maybe I'll take a look at that in a future video as well. Okay, so now that we selected that, I can change this to, I'll just make it upbeat because that looked weird. Right, and we'll just name it that, and you can change this and edit it. You're probably familiar with that. And if you're not familiar with using the Stream Deck at all, and you're interested in using the app and you'd like me to do a from scratch kind of tutorial on installing it and going through it and setting things up, it's fairly easy, but let me know. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so then you can select your action to play, stop, or just play, whatever. You can have it just play, just stop. And for the icon here, you can either do this drop down and you can go to open Stream Deck icon library, or you can hit the little plus here. If you double click on the icon itself, it will take you to a search feature on your computer. We'll go ahead and hit the plus here and we'll see the Stream Deck icon library. And then I had this shield one from before. This Affinity photo icon pack is the one I just did. And you can see a bunch of different things in here. Now it doesn't, I downloaded a song and I assigned a song, and photo is not gonna have something to play the song that looks like that. So it is it is what it is. So because that pack doesn't have something like that, I'm gonna go ahead over to this one and we'll go ahead and select one that's like a play pause. Okay, and then we'll close that out. Okay, so now we have our icon here, and then we have our song. So if I were to play this, it's gonna start playing that song. Hit it again, it stops. That's how it goes. There's no playlist for the music. That's a big bummer. I don't know how to get around that. You could always just drag, you know, this play audio over here, and then you can click on this little sound effects button or this music button, and that will take you directly to the Storefront library for those. So that's a nice feature too. But they really need to have like a create a playlist kind of thing on here. So we'll see. It's new, but this is a very big update for Elgato. It added a lot of things that people wanted to see. They did a lot of bug fixes to it. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I've been adding some little features that you'll see in my streams and in my YouTube videos, such as this little 3D screen thing and this little spectralizer thing up here in the corner that moves as I talk with my voice. If you notice too, in my other scene, I have it on the bottom where I'm talking, so like right here, and that goes kind of up and down with my voice as well. Little things like that spice it up a little bit. Okay, I appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Leave me some comments and let me know how I'm doing. I'm running a small channel right now, so I'm very adaptable for what people want to see, and you have a lot of influence on the types of future videos that I can make. I also stream over on Twitch, so if you want to come by and chat for a little bit, feel free to do so. I do keep my schedule as updated as I possibly can over there. See you in next week's video or over on live stream. Oh, these are, what is this? What? Where am I now? Oh goodness.